One of the leading indicators that are used today by economists to explain changes in our economies is the Purchasing Managers' Index. And what I'm going to discuss is how this index became one of these important lead indicators. What made it so special? The Purchasing Managers' Index is an index that is reported by national associations of purchasing management in America, Germany, Italy, and also in the Netherlands. And it explains the contract volume that has been put into the market by buyers of industrial companies compared to previous months. And the whole idea is that if buyers put more contract volume into the market, that business will prosper. If, however, they put less contract volume in the market compared to previous month, it means economy is slowing down. And therefore, it's very important to monitor the actual behavior of these buyers of these particular companies, because it's one of the very few real-time and real fact-based indicators in our economy. This picture shows that the Purchasing Managers' Index is composed of different sub-indices. And one of the most important ones to follow of these sub-indices are the New Order Index and the Export Order Index, because these are the engines. If the inflowing orders, the flow of incoming orders grows, it means more activity for these particular companies. What is also important to monitor are input prices and output prices. Input prices, the prices that buyers pay for the materials that they buy. And output prices is the prices that companies charge to their customers. And you can calculate that if these prices goes up, if purchasing prices go up, this will immediately lead to higher sales prices. And if sales prices go up, it will lead to a slowdown of customers buying these products, because the more expensive products become, the less they will buy. And when you look at this Purchasing Managers' Index over time, you see a pretty fluctuating pattern. You see the business cycle being represented in this graph. So we can identify periods where we had growth and we had no growth at all. We had a slowdown of our economy. And suppose that you are an entrepreneur and you're confronted with this kind of environment in which you have to run your business. What can you conclude from that? Well, one conclusion is that you should organize for flexibility. And how do you do that? Well, you decide to focus on what you can do best, those activities that bring value to your customers and to your company. And you outsource everything that you're not good at, where other parties in the market are good at. And that explains why outsourcing has become such a trend. It was driven by buyers, and it has made companies also much more sensitive to supplier cost and their purchasing and supply operations. So, concluding from this paragraph, we can say that purchasing professionals are important drivers of economic activity, and that economic cycles require companies to organize for flexibility, resulting in outsourcing of business activities, requiring active management of these supplier relationships. And that is what purchasing is all about. Darwin said it's not the strongest or the most intelligent of the species to survive. It is the one most adaptive to change or most able to adapt to change that will survive. And this is true for species. This is true for humankind. This is also true for individual companies. And here I show you some trends that we can perceive over the past years. Resource scarcity will come as more population, as the population in the world will grow, and more companies in emerging countries will require more raw materials. Global sourcing has led to very, very complex supply chains, which are very difficult to manage. Information technology and social media have generated much more transparency in what is happening on the other side of the world, how suppliers actually behave. Example is Apple with Foxconn and Jabil, the manufacturers of its iPads and iPhones, where child labor was found, which brought bad news for Apple. We also see supply chain integration relating to logistic service providers that operate worldwide to bring products from emerging countries to the doorstep of Western consumers and companies. Leverage purchasing and supply strategies represent a trend where large companies combine their purchasing volume to get better deals from their suppliers. Corporate social responsibility and business integrity put on the forefront due to social media. And we also see early supplier involvement in new product development. So the whole idea is, as companies become more dependent on their suppliers, how to involve those suppliers in new product development processes. So what can we conclude based on this discussion? One is that as a company and as society, you should keep a sharp eye on buyers, on what they actually do. Because through their contracted volumes, buyers can drive or slow down economic activity. And this explains why the Purchasing Performance Purchasing Managers Index has become a leading economist indicator these days. Well, we also see that through their buying behavior, large organizations have created some important trends which have created a totally different business landscape to which companies need to respond. And the name of the game is to create flexibility in your supply chains and in your company's operations. Because it's not the company that is biggest that's going to survive, it's the company and the organization that is most fit to change and to adapt to change that will survive.